All right, so welcome back to another scene for Lost Cub, where we are, sinners that we may be, reeling it back a little, reeling it back just a touch. Because right now, technically, our buddy Sage is out in the fucking woods with this kind of hunter fisherman, bless his heart, who is determined that he will walk home, even though home is multiple days walk away, because walking is not nearly so fast as driving. But for now, we're going to backtrack to one of many, many nights. Wouldn't you know, where most people are fucking abed. But Sage is not. Sage is outside, gazing raptly upward in the umbra, where, we're still we're out. We're away from town. The sky's already brighter than it is in Virginia Beach, with all those buildings, with the lighthouse, with all that. There's not nearly so much light bleaching of the sky here. But you know what? In the Umbra, it's still better. It's still brighter. There's still glowing up there more than you could ever see back at home. And there, we will start up with Sage doing his Sage thing.
Sage just currently got his eyes closed. He's got a stupid grin that just goes ahead and turns into a stupid smile. He's got his arms raised up into the sky, just in that Y pattern that you go ahead and like get into when you're either like praising the sun or, in this case, praising the sky, the night sky. But, he's in that pose. He's like passively taking in the chill that gets blown in by all the playful wind spirits across this little tiny plain, and swaying to the invisible melody that all the tree spirits are swaying into in time. So much so that it's inconsequential whether or not we are in the Telerium or in the Umbra. The star child is communing with his brothers and sisters.
Oh, bless his heart. And Sage, having found that he really just doesn't sleep. Maybe that's how he gets back and forth all the time. It's not like he needs that time to sleep. He can just commute for it. But, over time, as the season has been changing, as it's been getting cooler, as we've gone from the very end of summer to early fall, and now from late fall pushing on to winter, he does have plenty of time to hang out in the Umbra. He does have plenty of time to just look around and take it all in. And he'll have noticed those little details. More of the trees and plants are sleeping. Not that so many were awake in the first place, but even more are sleeping. Some of the ambient animal spirits and whatnot have moved about in accordance with, their natural response to the change in season. And even the wind spirits have kind of changed. He's seen multiple kinds at this point. And let me tell you, man, that north wind is a blowing. It's getting colder and colder. And so whereas you had kind of ephemeral, barely visible spirits dancing around up there before, more and more now you're seeing ones that kind of, especially in the starlight, kind of sparkle and glint sharply, kind of like frost, as they carry in the cooler breezes. And yeah, it's who is brisk.
Ooh. Wow, that's a real biting cold, he says, like mostly to himself, but looking over there. Ooh, it's like somebody just got really angry and just like stayed really angry, but wasn't able to go ahead and express it. So just really, really like condense itself into one like bitter, hateful, like wind. Oh man, the North hates me for some reason.
The North doesn't necessarily appreciate being called out. Thank you. But yeah, it's a hell of a thing, and especially having been on the property, he's had a better look than some. Since again, he's got ample time and no real tasks to do, especially not at night. So he's seen a lot more of what goes on around the area. And among them is definitely, especially at night, there are shadow spirits in abundance in this estate. There are a lot of shadows. There are a lot of crows that hang around. Crows, ravens, mismatched. Often the spirits will alight on the roof, though now and again he sees them even inside, perched on rafters. Seem very at home there.
Sage is on a first name basis with some of the shadow spirits, particularly that one underneath the sink. Under the sink is he's very shy, but you know what? When you get to know him, he's just like all the other shade spirits.
He is, he is. And we'll say for the sake of narrative that as Sage finally kind of buckles and heads in because it is getting cold, and there are a number of pleasant little fire spirits that'll dance around in the fireplaces when they're lit. Not a huge abundance, but there's usually one or two in every lit fireplace, and they do tend to keep the house a bit warmer. It's not like you guys have HVAC going on in there. So it is a tad warmer. And we're going to say, for the sake of argument, that among other things, as he's walking in, wandering through to one of the rooms that has a good fireplace set in it to knock off some of the chill. Oh, who's getting me? Ooh. I wasn't ready. Oh, Lord. So, as he's wandering through, we're gonna use Jane as our guinea pig. So give me a bit of an alertness check there, buddy, battle friend, to see if you can catch the distinction from the rest of the dark shadow shenanigans that are going on all the time in this house.
All right. That's one.
You know what? That 7 will do it. So what's gonna happen is you go past the cracked open door. Maybe she didn't close it too firmly. Breezes do now and again. Like the house has been pretty well resealed, but you know how it is when air pressure shifts in a house or the wind blows hard enough. You know, doors kind of pop open, swing, and it'll be.
It's that north wind. It just wants to get at me. Jeez.
It really
what
does.
did I do to it?
I mean, apparently you said things that were true enough that it didn't like it. Whatever the case, a couple doors have like popped or clicked shut, like they do, especially in an older house. But you're wandering past Jane's room, and it's that little bit of a glow that catches the eye as Jane is nestled in her bed to the tune of something like this.
Looking over. Oh. Flare in the nostrils. Flare in the nostrils.
Give me that roll.
Two, depending on difficulty.
Yeah, that's 2. So here's the irony. This thing isn't worm tainted per se. It's a natural occurrence. And man, it's not, as you have that moment of like, oh, and like the nostril flare and stuff, you realize it's not advancing. It's not advancing at all. It's just kind of coalescing out of the dark. And there's a lively kind of a heartbeat pulse of a glow going on in its innards. And while it looks very menacing, it remains there hovering, maw agape, with that thin tendril of red connecting it right to Jane's temple. The strands kind of dance and sway very gently, very softly. For what it's worth, Jane does not look like she is sleeping especially well in this particular moment. She's kind of clutching the pillow. There's, that kind of crease to the face. But it's not moving. It's not trying to get her any more than it is already. It's just swaying there.
Interesting. Sage is gonna go ahead and nab one of the local shadow spirits for a hot second. Just sort of throw his arms around their quote unquote shoulders. And go ahead and point to the thing that's hovering over Jane and simply go ahead and whisper, "What is that?"
Let's pull up Mr. Shadow Spirit. As you pull him
Oh
in,
god,
he's like, "Whoa,
I have made mistakes.
that's what they look like." You like wheel a show, an arm around him, pull him in, and he's just like, "Bleh." It looks at you, and it looks at the thing, and you are a Theurge, so it doesn't push for a deal. It kind of simply says, "What does it look like?"
It looks like a thing that preys on sleeping people?
Yes.
Is it, like, harmful?
That depends on what you think of as harm.
Is it Gaian?
Yes.
Hmm.
In
Okay.
its own way, it is doing what it is meant to do.
Sage is going to go ahead and sagely nod. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Going to go ahead and let go of the shadow spirit. Just sort of hang for a hot second. And after, like, taking in a little bit, he's going to go ahead and, like, walk on in through the door.
It just saunter right on in where
Yeet.
Jane is sleeping.
Yeet. You're going to go ahead and, like, walk around this particular dark creature that preys on people's sleeping.
All right. Would you like to, weirdly enough, essentially P&E the thing?
I would love to.
Feel free. I know this is your favorite.
Absolute favorite.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 50. Well, yeah, 4.
Yeah.
Well, that's 4.
It is completely sedate. You wander around, you look at it from different angles, you even can lean in pretty far. It doesn't take any interest in you at all. It just continues to kind of hang there, looking like it should be just flat drooling on her, looking like it should be going for her head, but it just hangs there with, a slight motion, kind of like if you see cobwebs, like just ever so slightly move when there's, just the lightest shifting of air pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It moves a little bit, it sways a little bit. There continues to be there are points where that kind of pulse, that heart throbbing glow kind of speeds up, heightens, but it doesn't seem to be in response to you at all. It's just doing what it does. It's not, you get the impression it's not completely unaware of you, it's just completely uninterested.
Okay. Okay. Sage is gonna go ahead and, like, do a very, very small, timid wave and direct his attention towards the eater of sleep, and simply go ahead and say, "Hi, I am a child of the stars. Who are you?"
And hmm, it considers this. You can actually tell there's like a slight motion from that weird jaw shape. It almost retracts ever so slightly, pulls up the tiniest bit, and with that same amount closes the slightest bit as it deviates its attention. And the weird thing is it's a spirit, so there's not even really an audible emanation from it. But as it begins to, like, some of those tendrils begin to undulate as it resettles itself, you nonetheless hear, in a weird way, an answer. And it says, essentially, in a very deep, kind of creaking, rasping, like it's all those little telltale sounds that come with your classic nightmares. At times, it may sound like it's bubbling. or like gasping, but it still somehow conveys, "Hello, Star Child." And what exactly did you ask it?
I asked it, what was it?
"I am her nightmares."
Hmm. She, the daughter of death, has nightmares?
She does.
What does she have nightmares about?
She doesn't remember.
Do you remember?
Of course.
Okay. Scratching his chin, looking towards the sleeping figure, looking towards the nightmare. You know, the sleeper there would really appreciate like knowing what she went ahead and forgot. Do you empathize with that?
It seems almost puzzled by the question. It's funny because there's no conventional expressions going on here, but you still get that overall impression that, especially like being asked, "Do you empathize with that?" It's just like, what?
Hmm.
This is part of what makes it a nightmare.
It is a nightmare because the dreamer does not remember her nightmare or does not remember the memory that would cause the nightmare.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What, you are her nightmare? Do you come from her? Or were you attracted? Or did you grow from her?
Yes.
Ah, yes to all? He says, like, kind of confused.
And almost infuriatingly, yes.
You see Sage go ahead and bring his hands up in a temple and brings like two index fingers to his chin a little bit, sort of like evaluating the whole scene before him as if he was a detached observer or a psychiatrist on a couch.
I'll give you this. As the more that you have spoken to it and its attention has deviated, those little red tendrils that pulse along to the same course as the rest of it, the pulse has evened and stayed fairly even. The tendrils have also thinned a bit, as though it's not able to hold this conversation with you and truly focus on what it's doing simultaneously. It hasn't let go. And her expression, I mean, you have insightful. I know you do, you sinner. So
Hmm.
her expression has loosened up a little bit in response. Her whole posture has loosened up a little bit in response.
Hmm. It seems to me that you may cause the dreamer more distress with your presence.
Of course.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. You see him go ahead and like pace up and down this particular like small room and turn back to the nightmare for a hot second and simply say, what would it cost me to get you to find somebody or something else to go ahead and feed from for a night?
I am hers.
You are hers and you recognize no other.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. He scratches his chin for a hot second. Would a pleasant dream sedate you as much as a nightmare?
No.
Goes head and nods. Ah. Okay. Okay.
What do you offer?
What do I offer? What if I went ahead and offered you some of my own nightmares?
You finally see the thing begin to shift in any meaningful fashion. There's still a thin line between the inside of its maw and her temple, but it draws itself up and actually turns that horrid, jagged jawline towards you, with the tendril just kind of leaking out of the side, almost like a flopped tongue.
Oh God.
It
Sage is
is.
gonna go ahead and lean back at some of the encroaching jaw and just like hold up a finger as whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, it has not detached yet, but man, you have gained its attention.
Okay. Wow. You like nightmares. Okay. Um in order to take your attention away from this dreamer, you require a different dreamer, correct?
Yes.
All right. Um, okay. How about this? How about instead of being her nightmare for a turn of Helios, how about you become my nightmare for a turn of Helios and let the sleeper have a reprieve of one day?
I accept. And that last final line just kind of snaps free of her temple. She gives this adorably like relieved sigh and loosens up and kind of splays in a more comfortable fashion as the thing retracts.
Oh, that's delightful for her. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
And it just turns that again, that just that hideous jawline towards you again and says, I will come when you sleep. And begins to just kind of pull itself up into the dark, like up at the ceiling of the room. And of course, these are like 10-foot fucking ceilings. So it really can just kind of disappear into the dark, especially as that glow fades out. Like, there's no real telling whether it's still there or not. It's just fucking dark up there.
Oh, what have I done? If I have ever had a time reason not to go ahead and go to sleep, this is it. Oh, got Freddy fucking Krueger on my ass now. This might have not been a good deal. Okay, well, that's fine.
It's fine.
Go ahead and look at the dreamer. Well, Jane, I hope you're happy with this one. Take a good night's sleep. Maybe you won't have to drink to forget the nightmares this next morning.
Thankfully, Jane is blissfully oblivious and finally falls into a ready, nice deep REM sleep without being plagued.
All right. Wanting to just like backpedal out of the room as quickly as possible, Sage is just gonna go ahead and like do exactly that. Backpedal out of the room.
Nope, is what you do.
Yep.
All right, you fuck right off is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
At the speed of nope. All right. This much you accomplish. Yay, you did a whole deal. You've still got some happy little fire elementals just kind of chilling, draping around on these nice logs, going, yes, this is quality nom noms. There are other spirits flitting around. Um, give me another alertness check.
Okay. Yeah. 2.
All right. In that case, yep, you got the little guys dancing around the fireplace. You got your usual suspects, and then a kind of a lighter flitting something kind of wings abruptly. You swear like through one of the windows and just whips into one of the rooms. Can't even really get a good look at it. It's pretty pale though. That's new and different.
Let's go ahead and run in after that thing. Hey,
Scamper.
marching my crazy legs. My crazy legs marching.
You matching. Trying not to think about the inevitable doom waiting somewhere above you.
Every single shadow and Dark Runner is getting the side eye. This used to just be the mansion of shadows, and then I went ahead and like changed it up to the dark mansion, and now it's the mansion of shadows and nightmares.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
So this time, what you will find is you scamper wildly, like, hey, but come back. This time you'll find it will be Heidi who's splayed out and full on asleep. Blonde hair all over the pillows, just looking as happy as can be, relaxed, draped out, and flitting around and finally perching on the pillow is this little guy.
Well, this is it's very much distinctly like a much more pleasant creature. Stairs goes ahead and waves as he goes ahead. Where is this damn thing? Is it like perched on to the side of her bed, like on a nightstand or on the floor?
It actually like ends up initially it perches on the headboard, and as you're watching you wave at it, it like flicks up a little wing, does a little like flick wave, and then hops down kind of like a very very small cat. Like not even full on cat sized, little on the slider side.
It's like a
To the point
kitten.
where it hops down and yeah, kinda. And yeah, it like hops down and seems to barely make an impression on the pillow.
Interesting. Sage is gonna go ahead and like come on the side towards the other side of the bed from where this little kitten-sized spirit is currently perched on a pillow. Just go ahead and observe it. Simply say, "Hey, I'm a child of the stars, and you are."
And it's kind of carefully pitter patting through like where her hair is splayed out, emitting kind of a soft trilling noise. And it flicks those big dark eyes up. Hello, child of the stars. I am a child of thoughts.
A child of thoughts. Or aren't you
Thoughts,
the
dreams, and like it says dreams, and its little wings like bleh, like flutters them out for half a second.
spirit of thoughts and dreams? Oh, aren't you the most adorable little spirit of thoughts and dreams? What do you eat?
Yes. Oh. Oh, thoughts, big thoughts.
Thoughts. Big thoughts. I mean, like, thoughts about what I would feel about like the fireplace, or thoughts like with mathematical equations.
Yes. Puffs a little bit. Thoughts and dreams and imaginings and stories. Flit, flit, flit.
Hmm. Interesting. Thoughts, feelings, dreams, stories. He goes ahead and like does a little wave of his hand and goes ahead and like it gives a wave to his hand because that's the only way I'm gonna go ahead and describe this hand motion. Eee.
The magic. I already know your shit. Yeah, for what it's worth,
Man.
as it comes around Heidi's head, it kind of does the little like, you know how a cat will like rub up against a leg? It does that like kind of against the side of her face, like yes, happy.
Hmm. Are you this this are you this girl's thoughts and dreams?
Oh no, no, but I bring her some. Yes,
You bring her some. Hmm. Can you bring some to me?
yes.
All right, cool. Do you have any dreams or thoughts that can go ahead and counteract nightmares?
Oh, poof.
Is that a yes or a no, or is this a why are you asking me this, you silly silly star child? You've always had the power to go ahead and fight nightmares. Take upon your sword of glimmering rainbows and strike down the creature of darkness.
By the time you have finished, it's like perched on the edge of the bed, staring at you with the biggest, widest eyes. Like, this is magnificent.
He's gonna go ahead and like puff his chest and look upon my armor of faith in both myself and my friends.
Yes.
He goes ahead and like dons a helmet. Uh,
Dons his
mimics
imaginary helmet.
Don's imaginary helmet. And this is my helm of wisdom and discerning to know who my enemies are and who are my friends.
Yes.
And this is my belt. And he's just like no other like explanation for it. It's just a fucking belt to keep my pants up.
There's a amused kind of whistling, twittering noise.
And these, he goes ahead and like points to his ratty ass jeans as he goes ahead and like mimics like lacing something up. Are my leg braces that not only protect my shins and my legs, but also allow me to run faster, so I can come to destroy the beast faster.
Yes. Like pops up, it's doing a little bounce now.
What are you? Going ahead and like pointing the imaginary sword at the small kitten-like creature. Help me in this endeavor to vanquish that which would make me fearful.
Yes. Poof. It gets so big, dude. So many feather puffs. Like,
All right. Goes ahead and dons his helmet again. Goes ahead and looks up. Creature! Creature of my nightmares! Show yourself so that we may have this encounter, so that you may cause me fear and feed as you ought to, and I may slay you so that this little creature can feed as it ought to.
all this build up in that nightmare, just like, nah, son, you're not asleep yet. You must be joking. I am not fighting a chimerling for your entertainment. The nightmare just like, nuh-uh. For what it's worth, though, the chimerling is totally hyped for this. He's like, I'm ready. His little wings are like dwarfed by the size of his poof, sticking out in either direction, like, puh.
Sage, for his part, is like marching across the room, like examining every dark corner, because he's like, Nightmare, you hear Nightmare? Nightmare, are you hiding from me? I feel like you're hiding from me right now. I don't think this is a really fun game if you don't come out. This is not happening. I don't think this is happening.
Oh no.
Sage is just gonna go back, just like shrug.
Maybe you can convince it.
Convince the Nightmare to come to me?
I don't know.
Well, it said that it would come to me when I was asleep.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right.
I don't know how to go ahead and fall asleep on command. I haven't been sleeping for a bit. Looking towards the now much larger chimeraling, so the goes ahead and says, "Can you make me go to sleep?"
Yes.
All right. Can you do that right now? Because if I don't, then the Nightmare doesn't come.
And then you'll be asleep.
And then I will have to go ahead and entrust my safety and my sanity with my spirit friend, you. Isn't that what he goes ahead and bangs his chest, the armor is all about?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. But then I fight it all by myself. Deflates ever so slightly.
Okay. What about this? Is there a way for me to be both asleep, dreaming, and yet awake?
Yes.
Goes ahead and claps his hand, points to the Chimera Link. How do I do that?
Come here. Picks up a little palsy.
Wanders on over and offers to go ahead and piggyback it or be piggybacked.
It actually just it's like reaching up with one paw, like I'm gonna and as soon as you get down low enough, it'll boop you on the head. And doomp.
The awesome power of your very spirit being written and rewritten with mystical powers overtakes you.
It's
what I
more just
assume.
it immediately slams you into lucid dreaming, just like dunk.
Nice. Looks around. Where is the stream taking place?
Oh boy. I was not even ready. Let's do this. Crack my knuckles. Here's the thing, like, all right, so you're gonna go into the stream, and I feel bad because I feel like I should have an image for you. But the landscape is weird in that it's not prominent. Like, part of what makes this kind of eerie is that it's very hard to get an impression of where you are. Like, at one point you kind of look around and you're seeing kind of almost a skyline impression, just barely tangible. Other times as you're turning, and I mean, to the point where like you're spinning a full 360 and then another, and it almost overlaps, where you looked there before you saw skyline, now you're seeing like tree line. It's very weird and indistinct, and you swear every time you look back it kind of changes, so you can't get a good sense of like where you are. And around you is very bare. It's a lot of what makes this eerie, what makes this uncomfortable, is that you can't get a bearing per se. And this is all in kind of malicious tones of like kind of smoky reds and whatnot, very similar to the coloration of the Nightmare Spirit itself. It's a lot of it is dark, a lot of it is smoky, but you're seeing like glowing pulses of red, just kind of that, and an incredible, very heavy, weighty sense of dread.
Sage is gonna go ahead and start to wander very, very nervously and apprehensively. Just go ahead and just mumble to himself as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Oh gosh, this was a bad idea. Where is the knife hands? Knife hands are coming for me. Oh my god! He's just gonna go ahead and like break into a hot sprint based on just some like flash of red that he wasn't expecting.
Does he have any particular idea of where he wants to run? What is he looking for?
Zordon.
Okay.
The lighthouse! Ah, running for the lighthouse!
All right. You take off running. Like you take the fuck off running. And as you take off running, again, it's weird because like you swear there are points where it's like, yeah, I'm going to go for this landmark, but it's really hard to tell if you're finding that landmark, that telltale thing. And as you decide, like, oh my god, I'm running to Zordon, I'm going to the lighthouse. The lighthouse is a safe place. You do, since you do have lucid dreaming essentially given to you by the Chimera League. You will be running pell-mell and have a slowly looming out of the darkness, and at times it almost seems to disappear, just long enough for you to doubt that you're still running in the right direction. But you're running towards the outline of your lighthouse, and it's not comforting. There's more of that. In fact, there's the kind of distinct heart-throbbing light out of the top of it as you are scrambling madly.
The light's like it may be shining like an eerie red. The closer I get, the more my heart goes ahead and thumps. The more
Yeah.
the light goes ahead and like flickers. The more I
Yep.
feel like that pulsing. But I'm still running towards it.
You're
It might
still
be
running towards it.
scary, but it's a landmark. We're
It
gonna
is.
start this dream. We're gonna start with a landmark.
There are points where you begin to see very like wicked, nasty outlines. At one point, you swear something grabs your ankle, but it's never, again, much like the landscape. Part of what seems to make this particular nightmare so upsetting is that there's nothing that you can latch onto. There's not some distinct detail. It's just a sense of menace. Nothing that's actually hurting you yet. Just like this constant horrible menace, this kind of sense of inevitability that something is going to get you and you don't know what it is.
Oh,
You don't hear like a thumping footstep behind you. You don't have anything that on point to lock onto as where the threat's coming from. It's just something's going to get you from somewhere, somehow, at some point, and that point's getting closer the longer you're running and moving and living, but you don't know what.
a dread that continues and persists that I have no idea that constantly gets stronger and stronger as I go. Kitty, it's too real. Too real.
Yeah, you slam open the door to clamber into the lighthouse. You like hit that first step, and for a half second, there's like black oozing off the stairs. And I mean, it's gone as soon as you have a second to really even register it happened. It's already gone.
Oh god, nope. Nope, 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 nope. What's that stupid song I had a second? We all go up in flames? Oh god, why did I sing that?
Like you're racing up, you go to like you're grabbing the rail to help you vault more steps at a time. At one point you go to lay your hand down and there's already like you swear there's like thin, long, gnarled fingers wrapped around the rail where you're about to place your hand. Again, as soon as you register they're there, they're gone.
It takes a half second because I hadn't like misses the step goes ahead and trips onto the staircase, goes ahead and bruises his knee and like his elbow as he comes down, and he just goes ahead and gives it exasperated. Oh, that wasn't smart. Oh. Goes in, takes a hot second. Turns around. Okay. Goes to his eyes. Okay. Okay. He's everywhere. Okay. Okay. Goes in and tries to calm himself down. Goes ahead and flicks his eye towards the top of the stairs and then towards the bottom. Neither of which goes ahead and looks like it's friendly all of a sudden.
Neither
Because it's
looks
all
especially inviting. Neither does that rail right there, or the step just under yours, or the step just above yours, or the one you're standing on, really. Like, just everything's awful. It's just one of those things where you, like, especially as you're calming down a little bit, and that pulsing above you does slow down to reflect as you kind of get a little more of a handle. In fact, give me some willpower roll. Do that. Let's see how you're holding up,
cool.
buddy pal friend. Because this is what makes it fun. Oh boy. So
those are no successes.
You start to kind of calm down a little. It's like, it's okay. It's just a sense of dread. It's just a sense of impending doom. And for a split second, again, it's just long enough for you to grasp that it's happening. Everything kind of flashes out into black, smoky, like you still feel like you're standing on the step. But it flashes out into black smokiness, and you see that maw, very similar actually to the nightmare itself, though there are distinct points for eyes, as it just is fleetingly just long enough for your animal, like for your little lizard brain to realize there's an oncoming giant maw. And that is where the willpower fail will come in. As you, like, we can, whether you go up or down doesn't really matter. You turn and you bolt. And as soon as you whip around, that image is gone. But there is still that little part of your lizard brain that is like, for the love of all that is holy, run!
Bolting upwards. Yeah, I may jump off the side of the lighthouse when I get up there, but I'm getting up there!
You're getting up there. Getting,
Sorry, I did everything you asked me. I got teenagers with fucking attitude, but they hate each other.
You clamber up, and because this point, the top of the lighthouse, is a point that you recognize as, you know, whether it's working or not, it's something that you want to be a point of safety. That is where, as you like run up and you slam yourself against the glass, like hope of all hopes that there is some sort of peace to be found there. While the pulsing continues, there is a kind of comically cartoonish kind of like boink noise as this little guy like piffs into existence there at the top, like, ooh.
Oh, hi! Thing of thoughts and dreams.
This is bad.
It's he goes ahead and like throws his hands up towards the like glass pane windows and simply gestures. It's out there, and it's in here, and it's out there.
Ooh, it is. This is bad.
Would you help?
Okay, I got this. And he, again, just kind of like, poof, like, I am ready. And he poofs up. And while there is that sick kind of lambent glow going on, none of, like, even the flickering, the heartbeat is, it never gets but so bright. But this is what you have been looking for. You do have the lucid dreaming active. This guy has appeared as an aspect of the lucid dream. And so he kind of poofs himself up, and it's comical because maybe this is just how you imagine it would work, but he like sucks in a breath and he poofs himself up, and that very pleasant, soft glow that he has going, that kind of dreamlike glimmer, expands and he starts to kind of glow enough to start filling in the room a bit. It's kind of overriding that pulsing, sick light with something just brighter and cleaner. And it seems to cause him real effort to expand it out. But much like you would expect from your buddy, the Light Elemental, he starts filling the room at the very least. It's crawling out from him. And especially as it washes over you, you're clinging to the glass. You start to calm down. You start to get a handle on it. It's not that anything becomes any better per se, but you get a chance to kind of breathe because everything's fine because you're in the light. So it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, it's a little bit fine. His heart is still racing. He goes ahead and like rolls his shoulders a little bit. Okay, so I think this is it. I think he's this. He goes and like throws his hands around like towards the light that is like all pulsing red. He goes ahead and like throws his hands out towards the darkness. This is him, I think. Maybe a little bit me, he says as he's starting to walk around. His sageness is coming back to him, not that he's not freaking the fuck out.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. You are not me, and you are not him.
I'm kind of you. Sort of kind of you.
Okay. Okay. You and him, you're like beings outside of me, external to me. But
well, yes, but you put me here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here. You two are here. But we're all like doing this together, I think. Like he's part of this world where everything's scary. You're part of this world where everything is like not so scary, and I'm like all aspects of this world, I think.
He is this place. He is this. And you are in this. Or he is in you. It's strange. And I am here because you want me to be here. Because you think I'm here. So I am here.
You're here because I think you're here.
Yes.
All right. What if I imagine that I had a sword right now? He goes ahead and like holds his hands up with both hands.
Exactly the sword you imagine will kind of it takes a little start and go, but it does coalesce kind of in your hands.
Whew, this is even swings like I think it's gonna swing. Holy crap.
It does make a comically like kind of exaggerated sound effect as you swing it because that is how you imagine it would sound.
No. This is gonna be better. All right, so what Sage does is he goes ahead and closes his eyes for a hot second. His mind goes to different comic books, different medias, different like movies. He's gonna go ahead and try to envision himself as some type of space wizard that has a light scimitar or some like a light beam like he goes ahead and holds. Some would say this is a lightsaber, but you know what? He's a space wizard. Shut up.
Infringement. Yeah. Yep, you don the Jedi robes. I know what you're doing. I see your shit.
Awesome. So he's going to go ahead and like make a little bit of space in front of him and before the window, so to go ahead and like point his saber of light towards it and simply say, "All right, you and me, it's time to tussle. I'm not in here stuck with you. You're in here stuck with me."
There is oh boy. I'm gonna have you make another willpower check to see how you hold up against this so I can narrate properly.
Neat.
You will have you do have some benefit from him being there, so you're good at the moment.
That's
So
5.
you've got your bravado on strong, got it on fleek, and you make this great declaration, and all of those windows surrounding you simultaneously crack and shatter. They don't like explode into a million pieces. They all just it's that cracking glass noise as all of them at the same time kind of give that crunch, and spiderwebbing lines grow through them. And you kind of there's this sense of pressure, maybe a little bit of debris falls, and as you look up to the source of it, you swear you're looking up into that open maw again, and it starts sucking in a breath, and debris starts flying up into the maw. Your robes start kind of dancing a little bit, but especially with you still in the glow of little dude here, somehow you do not completely lose your shit. You can actually stay kind of objective and emotionally removed and recognize that this is, again, not something that looks like it's imminently going to close on you, but just an incredible, pressing sense of dread.
Whoa! Wow! The the illusion is cast aside for me to go ahead and see the truth. Hi.
Yeah, I will in fact give you the fact that you essentially get with that many willpower successes, you gain incredible insight to the fact that this nightmare, all it really is, and very much you realize represented by the way it looks, is it is a looming, incredible sense of dread. The just unwavering knowledge that something terrible is lurking and looming, and while you can never put your finger on it, while you may see images that provoke fear, none of them are the thing that looks like it's really going to get you in the end. It's just one step further towards it.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. It's an oncoming dread. It's the anticipation of something happening and not the actual thing. It's sort of like a Phantom Menace, but that movie sucked, so I'm gonna call it something different.
Even the little dude is kind of looking up like, oh, whoa. He like deflates ever so slightly, like, ugh.
Okay, I'm gonna look up to the thing, so we go ahead and call out, "You got your fill?"
As you look back up and go to call again, it's just a ceiling again.
Ooh. Well, all right then. Turning towards the small creature. So I think I can go ahead and pull myself out of this.
Oh, you want to wake up now?
Uh, yeah. Unless there's something else I can go ahead and see and learn from. I know what the nightmare is.
You as soon as you're sorry, I'm watching the Discord, Jen. That was amazing. Thank you, Tom, for that visual.
He is going on
And
full.
as soon as you're like, yes, you kind of sputter awake on the floor. I mean, in the Umbra still, but like on the floor of that room, like, huh, puh, huh, what? Like just right next to the bed.
Oh. Say again?
Just yeah, right next to the bed, right where you knelt before he went and booped you on the head. He's like leaning over the edge of the bed, looking at you like, "Whoa."
I go ahead and like look at my hands. Aw, I lost my lightsaber.
No,
But that was cool. He goes ahead and
it's very cool. Poof.
sits on up but doesn't like raise himself up from the floor. So you could just do that?
Yes.
How can I do that?
Um. Um. Which part?
Just the whole like, I want to be a Jedi again.
Oh, that part's hard.
Yeah, okay. Don't worry, little buddy. He goes ahead and like
I can
stands
help
up.
you do it sometimes.
Say again?
I don't know if I can teach you that, but I can help you do it sometimes. I can help you do the sharing thoughts thing again. Maybe not nightmares next time. That's bad. That was scary.
Oh yeah, that was scary. But yeah, I'd gladly go ahead and take that if you're willing to offer.
Yes, that was fun.
Yeah.
It
He
was
goes
a
ahead and
very
like,
good learning experience. Firm nod.
did you learn something? Because I learned that I could be a Jedi. They told me
You,
I could be anything, and then I said Jedi.
you did.
Goes ahead and looks at the sleeping girl. What's she dreaming about?
Oh, her? And
Me.
glances back over at Heidi. Hmm. She dreams about the good things she remembers.
Sage nod.
Dreams about her mom. And really, really, really big fields of flowers. And she can sing so loud, and it's, the little wings pop out so loud, she could fill the whole valley.
Neat.
Her mommy taught her. Foot.
Hermione thought, oh, okay. Well, this is a good memory for her.
Yes.
What do I need to do to make that memory clear for her? He goes ahead and like pops a small like orb of light of gnosis.
Ooh, I can do it. Ooh, me. Pick me.
Well, I'm not sure. Looking at the dresser, maybe this dresser spirit will go ahead and help me out here,
Pick me.
or maybe
He's bouncing around on the sheet like, pick.
or maybe one of these shadow spirits would help me out. Oh, goes ahead and like looks around, like at last second thought.
Oh, me.
Oh, you can help. You can do this.
Yes.
Goes ahead and like offers that glowing orb of gnosis to it.
He happily takes it and starts batting it around the bed for a hot second before it finally as mid-roll kind of spills into a little trail of mist and finally just kind of wraps its way into him. And he does get just a teeny bit brighter, a teeny bit more distinct, maybe a little bit more refined almost. It's just a tiny like scooch bigger. But he does go over and nuzzle against her again, rubbing past her. Even takes a moment preening her hair and just kind of being adorable. And she gets the dreamiest, happiest little smile.
Sage, a lot of them of dreams and girls. He goes ahead and like waves the little spirit away and walks away.
And you are welcome, if you would like to spend the XP, to pick up Mindspeak.
Yee, neat. Okay.
And once he has done his little thing, he will start chasing you around because you've been kind of entertaining. And he does his thing, and he gets her all happy, and then he starts following you as you turn to go. Like, now what? Ba-doom. Like hops down from the bed. Patters after you.
I guess if you want to go ahead and follow me, that's cool.
Yes.
Goes ahead and like brings his hands down so he can go ahead and like get the dang thing to go ahead and actually small kid. Never mind, he can just go ahead and
You can just scoop him up.
scoop him up.
Yeah, you scoop him.
I was thinking way too hard about that.
Yeah, you just scoop him like a kitten. He's like, yes.
go ahead and like scratch at the top of his owl head.
He seems to appreciate this. There's a lot of feather fluff there, but you can get through it and kind of scritch. And he makes the most, like, fabulous, like, awkward twittering noise. Finally, involuntarily gives a little hoo.
But yeah, that was fun.
Yes. It was a very good adventure.
Don't worry, you and me, we're going to have a lot of adventure. If you go ahead and see me with a light bulb, go ahead and ask him about the Maya Moria.
I will. Was it an adventure?
It was a very good adventure. We went down into the darkness with Anton, myself, and Bill. We found the creature underneath the mountain, and we did slay it.
Ooh.
We were like heroes.
Yes.
The way you have to pronounce what we were, like, heroes. You can't say just heroes. It has to be heroes.
Like heroes.
Yes. Say it exactly like that.
I will.
Okay, I'm done with this.
Are you done? Are you ready to close on that?
I'm good with closing on that.
Okay. Then for now, as Sage continues his adventures for the evening with this kitten-sized chimerling in tow, for now we will call it a night.